This Money in the Bank is very perplexing. It could go a lot of different ways, and there's a lot of heavy favorites to win the Money in the Bank. But let's go ahead and talk about my Money in the Bank 2025 predictions. My name is Sancho West. This is Sancho West Wrestling, where I love to talk about my love for wrestling. If you would like more videos from me, be sure to subscribe. Wow, Money in the Bank in June 7th. In Los Angeles, and I will be live here on this channel to having a live watch party. So if you want to check it out, have a fun community to gather around to watch some good old-fashioned wrestling, this is the place to be. So let's go ahead and go down match to match. I think a lot of my predictions are based on if the men's Money in the Bank, where does it go? If it goes at the beginning, the Money in the Bank winner changes. If it closes Money in the Bank pay-per-view or the PLE, it will change the outcome of lots of things. Or if that tag match of Logan Paul, John Cena versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, if that closes, of course, that changes a lot. And I think that matters a lot, considering we are in a Triple H kind of type of booking that is not a big fan of the Money in the Bank. Just recently last year, Triple H burned the Money in the Bank briefcase on the night of, with Drew McIntyre trying to cash it in and failing thanks to CM Punk thwarting that attempt. But I digress. Let's go ahead and talk about the non-Money in the Bank card matches here. And the first up is Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the IC title. This is a last chance match for the women's Intercontinental title. If Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title as long as Valkyria is the champion. And if Lyra loses, then Becky is going to get her hand raised and says she's the better woman, which is a very interesting premise here. I'm not a big fan of this stipulation. I think they're trying to add a little bit to it without really necessarily not adding to it. It's one of these matches that doesn't need a gimmick. They did so well in the first bout that they had together, but I don't think match 2 needed this last chance stipulation. And because of this last chance stipulation, I think this has to go with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch winning this will definitely give more legs to this program, add more friction, give Lyra Valkyria an opportunity to regain the Intercontinental Women's Championship, and as well as I really feel that Lyra Valkyria on the main roster has been too prestigious, been too pristine, too clean, not to have many obstacles in her way. They had PFC for a moment, that went away. And then Lyra needs this. Lyra needs to show the audience that she can overcome struggles on the main roster, and what a better opponent to do than Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has proven to be able to give the rub to younger talent like a Tiffany Stratton, so this wouldn't be a Becky Hogan situation, which needs to die the term. I still think that it would be great for the IC title to have Becky Lynch as part of the historic reigns and to keep the belt prestige alive. So it's vital for Lyra to lose here. I think Becky Lynch does win. I don't know if it's going to be a clean win. I think last time it was a roll-up. Bayley is someone that could be kind of swimming around in the waters, lurking to see if they could cause a title change and maybe cause Lyra to lose on accident, like most babyface does against this opportunity here against another face. So I'm going to have Becky Lynch winning here. In the next match, we have the Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul in a tag team match. I'm going to call this match for what it is. It's a prop match. This match absolutely doesn't need to happen, but it's a good excuse to have the champions on a PLE in Los Angeles. It's good for business. So what does that mean when I mean a prop match? This match is just the setting. This is the stage to create the ultimate stakes that Triple H did not capitalize with Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton was the Money in the Bank holder, for those who don't know, in 2 very unique opportunities. They had an opportunity to cash in at Night of Champions in Saudi, and she had an opportunity to cash in at War Games. I was one of the people in the camps that I wish she cashed in at War Games. It was such a unique setting, a unique stage to make a memorable moment for the Money in the Bank briefcase. And because they didn't pull the trigger on that, we did not get that excitement that the Money in the Bank briefcase does present. It was part of the greatest heist of the history with Seth Rollins in WrestleMania 31. So here we are, another opportunity to make a memorable moment with the Money in the Bank briefcase to really capture that feeling that it is your golden ticket into the main event scene to become a champion. And why not? If this match pushes into the main event, and you can't argue that it's not going to be, you literally have Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, John Cena, who's in his retirement run, and Logan Paul in that main event in Los Angeles. So if that's the main event, this match really doesn't matter. What matters is what happens with the cash-in. I do believe Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso does win here, but the ultimate cash-in that's going to happen, and I won't reveal the outcome of that until later. In your women's Money in the Bank, we have Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer. In my Wrestling School podcast, alongside my co-host Santi, we kind of talked about how almost everybody could be given this briefcase and it'd be great. The only person that we both agreed that does not need this briefcase is Rhea Ripley. She proved this in the last WrestleMania. She literally called her shot and demanded to be inserted into Io Sky and Bianca Belair's when she didn't really have any right to. And if her thought process was very flimsy and very shallow, so Rhea Ripley doesn't need this briefcase. Rhea Ripley would benefit though, and the WWE would love to have Rhea Ripley with it, being this best megastar having it, to capitalize on the merchandising opportunity of Money in the Bank. I just feel that the whole thing about, I may be hypocritical here in a second, Judgment Day with the Money in the Bank briefcase doesn't really work out, considering that Damian Priest had it and that was all shenanigans, and Rhea Ripley was part of that shenanigans. The one that I predict that's going to win here is Roxanne Perez. I think Roxanne Perez is going to be a great Miss Money in the Bank, but on top of that, she would add another kind of like another pawn at play, another piece into the puzzle of this whole Liv Morgan feeling jealous, Liv Morgan doubting herself, Liv Morgan feeling like she's being shoved to the outside of Judgment Day, because already there's planting the seeds of Finn Balor benefiting from Roxanne Perez's interferences. Already Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez not winning matches because of Roxanne Perez, and it's all being blamed on Liv Morgan, all being blamed on Raquel Rodriguez. So I like the implosion, which seems to happen every summer, of Judgment Day, and I do believe the Miss Money in the Bank being in the hands of Roxanne Perez would kind of add to that, would be a highlight into this implosion, and I think it would be a vital key missing component to cause that implosion. If you wanted to go with Naomi, I wouldn't be mad at you. I think Naomi is a great selection here for Miss Money in the Bank, considering that Naomi is becoming a very scary heel, and we go in depth in the podcast that Naomi could be a top women's heel in the business. But I feel that what's missing for Naomi is I don't know how deep she can go. What's the depth of this water that you're kind of playing in, Naomi? How scary do you want to be? And if you want to be Miss Money in the Bank, I don't think it can be just a business way to be scary that, ooh, I could cash in at any time. It needs to be a diabolical that I could cash in and I will do it in the most heinous way possible. I think the whole gimmick of Naomi being proceeded with caution is I need to see a big blow up with her or a big crash out to show that people need to treat her seriously going forward, and it's just not a flash in a pan gimmick. But again, my pick, Roxanne Perez. And now we'll go to the men's Money in the Bank. We have Solo Sikoa, filled with a roster of a variety of parts, so to speak. We have Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and El Grande Americano. I'm going to kind of take this in two pieces. Arguably the most biggest star in this match is Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins has created so much enemies. I kind of equate it to when I play Fortnite. Walk with me here for a second. When I play Fortnite, you pick on somebody over there, and you pick on another person over there, and they're really good players, and all of a sudden you got 3 or 4 people after you in-game. Seth Rollins has poked the bear in a variety of places in CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns, who is now lurking in the background. I think the WWE is definitely showing their hand here, especially in commentary. They're like, who's going to stop Seth Rollins' new faction? Is anybody going to stop them? Because that's obviously setting up the alley-oop for Roman Reigns to come in to slam dunk that bad boy down. So Seth Rollins clearly, in my opinion, arguably on paper, should be the winner here. Not only just because on the amount of main event status of Seth Rollins, but the kind of momentum he's building with his faction. And that Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman faction should not lose here. But if they're going to build up Roman Reigns to have a grandiose return here, that will be the place to do it, especially if it's main event. So Seth Rollins is off the table. What does that mean? I know some people would love LA Knight to win. LA Knight winning Money in the Bank in Los Angeles is a shoo-in. I feel it's a couple years too late. I know I'm the #1 LA Knight fan. I absolutely love LA Knight, and he's been given his due. But LA Knight, given this briefcase right here, I mean, what is he going to do? Yes, he could go up against main event Jey Uso. Maybe LA Knight does a noble thing and cashes in ahead of time. I don't know, but I think it's just too late for LA Knight. And if it's the main event, LA Knight walking away with the briefcase wouldn't be a lasting image. If Roman Reigns helped Seth Rollins, helped LA Knight by stopping Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Roman Reigns shaking hands wouldn't be the thing. This Money in the Bank for the men's is going to happen earlier in the card. And if it does happen earlier in the card, you're going to have to definitely put it on Seth Rollins, okay? I think Seth Rollins does win the Money in the Bank, and I know I said, he wouldn't, but if it's earlier in the card, Seth Rollins is going to win. He's going to try to cash it in on a John Cena or a Jey Uso, most likely on Jey Uso, because he's already said he wants the heavyweight title. And then that's where Roman comes in to stop the cash in. That's going to lead to a big feud between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. If this main event closes, then you open up the door to more possibilities beyond Seth Rollins. I think Penta's the odd man out. It's not his time. I think Andrade is also the odd man out. Solo Sikoa will be an interesting pick, but Solo Sikoa right now is dealing with Jacob Fatu. I think the story for Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and Jason Mateo is that Jacob Fatu is going to eventually branch on his own. Solo Sikoa having the Money in the Bank briefcase will give him too much power over Jacob Fatu. That leaves us with El Grande Americano. Now, like I mentioned at the top of this video, Triple H has been rumored that he does not like the gimmick of the briefcase, does not like the match itself as Money in the Bank, considering, who knows, maybe he has trouble booking it. It doesn't work with his flow that he has in his current slate of the story for 2025. But if Triple H wanted to do something creative with the Money in the Bank, he could use it as a splitting identities between Chad Gable and Grande Americano, and that Chad Gable is not finding success as himself, and he's finding success as his moonlighting luchador Grande Americano, and that will pull at him and that will split him apart. Think like a Venom and Eric Brock or Eddie Brock, or thinking like Bruce Banner and Hulk type of situation, where eventually the personas are split in half. The psyche breaks in Chad Gable. And I think it'd be fun and interesting to see the thing to do. What does Chad Gable do? Does he win as Grande Americano? Does he try to say like Adam Pearce, like, hey, Grande Americano gave me the briefcase and I'm the one who's going to have it? And they're like, no. That contract inside says Grande Americano is the only one that could cash it in. There's so many layers that could go deep with it, and that could go with a longer run than just a cash in. And it adds another layer to the briefcase that is not just about the briefcase and becoming champion, and it'd be a fun little story nugget for us to chew on, a jawbreaker, so much to have some fun throughout the summer, versus like, ooh, when are they going to cash in and become a champion? So those are my predictions. My lock is Seth Rollins. Again, what's going to go back to loop around to that tag team match, you're going to have Seth Rollins literally trying to replicate the heist of the century, and the heist of the century is going to be stopped by Roman Reigns. Let me know what your thoughts and your predictions down below, and be sure to subscribe for more and check out the watch party here or on twitch.tv/SanchoWest. Peace. See you around.